Hi guys, it's my pleasure to have Brijesh with me. Brijesh is principal consultant at Infosys, and I don't think you guys need to know about him. He is a celebrity in himself. He is also chief enablement officer at TestChat. In fact, he is the one who started this community called TestChat. By the way, those of you who don't know, he has been one of our key founder members of Agile Testing Alliance as well. He has been with us for last so many conferences. In fact, this would be his eighth consecutive presence in the conference. We were trying to get him in the offline conference in Pune, but for some reasons he's still with us in an virtual avatar this year, and he's our keynote speaker, Brijesh. So I'm so glad to be speaking to you, and I want to hear what are you going to speak on, and what would be so interesting this time. I know the topic, but I want you to discuss about it and talk about yourself a little bit if you can. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adi, first of all, for that very kind introduction. Agile Testing Alliance has been a part of who I am today. Okay, and the whole community thing started with Agile Testing Alliance back in 2013. So 10 years ago is when we had the first offline meetup. I think it was September 23rd, 2013, if I remember the date correctly, in Datamatics. That's where we met for the first time as ATA, as a community, and we had our first ever meetup. And Adi just asked me, "Would you like to volunteer?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, why not?" And that's how it began. And then since that day, I was associated with ATA. We've seen, multiple conferences. Before GTR, there used to be something called as Agile Testing Alliance Global Gathering. We had two editions of that. We had the Agile Testing Alliance Automation Summit conference in Vadodara, which was also there. I was a part of those. So Adi, it's not 8 years; it's actually 10 years. You
I
may
agree. I
say.
agree. So I
And
was
my
about to say that it is 8 years consecutively in GTR, but he has
yeah,
been associated from day one when we started Agile Testing Alliance. And yeah, all kudos to him for his contribution and his support all through the existence of the community that we are running here. And yeah, big
yeah.
thanks to him. Because, yeah.
In fact, my public speaking journey began with the Agile Testing Alliance, and I started off with meetups, with the Agile Testing Alliance meetups. That's where I started off. Then had an opportunity of speaking at ATAS. I had an opportunity to host one of the small sections of the global gathering. Then spoke at ATAS, which was the Automation Summit. Then participated as a speaker in GTR, and it's been there ever since. So I owe a lot to ATA for giving me the platform, for giving me the opportunities. And I have made a lot of friends. I have learned a lot from Adi and from everyone at ATA. It's been a fantastic journey so far.
So guys, he's been so kind. Okay. By the way, whatever he's saying,
No,
you all know Brijesh, he's a kind human being, and all his words basically are coming from his heart, and we really appreciate whatever he has done. It's basically mutual. The gratefulness and the thank you come from our side. Too many times, I think we feel that Brijesh has been one of the main factors of our existence here. So Brijesh, thank you so much for whatever you have done for the community.
yeah,
For
and
yeah.
and on being there personally, physically, I saw this year as an opportunity because we are returning physically with the editions of GTR. We have had virtual editions because of COVID the past 3 years, but then once it was returning physically, I thought it was a great opportunity for me to be there. But my health currently is not allowing me to do that. Uh, but then, yeah, having an opportunity to speak at GTR is a big deal. And like I said, I made my debut as a speaker with GTR, and I will be making my debut as a keynote speaker again with GTR this year. So thank you once again, Adi, for the opportunity.
But it's
For
again all appreciation from our side for
No,
accepting
for
this
finding me
and
worthy enough to do a keynote. I mean, that's a huge step for me. So it means a lot to me. And the topic this year is very interesting. This year, the past 1 year, from a technology perspective has been a very, very interesting year. Something that happened on November 30th, 2022 changed the entire tech world upside down, so to speak, when OpenAI announced ChatGPT. Now that to me was one of the biggest technical innovations to have come out. Now, OpenAI had been working on ChatGPT for a while. I mean, it had been going through a lot of things, but they finally decided to bring it to public. And then we saw what happened after that. I mean, Google jumped into the race. IBM jumped into the race. All these other players, they suddenly woke up and like, oh my God, this is something that we all need to adopt to, and we all have jumped. And there is a mad rush, a crazy rush of AI based tools, or at least people claiming that AI is doing a lot for them. So at least the claims are there now. I mean, a lot has to be tested around it yet, but at least we see that people are talking about AI. It has made a huge impact. People have started thinking about it. All this while, AI was restricted to, I would say, a lot to the books and to conference talks and to small conversations, but now it is reality. We are seeing things happening in action. With ChatGPT, we saw GPT 3.5, and then soon, very soon, within a few months, OpenAI came up with GPT-4 and made it available to the pro users. You say, okay, you pay $20 a month and you can be a pro user. And so I've been lucky to have tried my hands on with GPT 3.5 and with the GPT-4, API I plugged around and done a bit of playing around. And to be very honest, I'm not fully convinced that it can do a lot yet. I have always been a technology skeptic. I see it with a lens of skepticism every time something comes in the technology world. Long ago, back in 2005, when Agile came about, or when we started talking about, Scrum and all of these things were picking up, that time I was again skeptic. I was like, Agile won't do anything for us. But now I am a big Agile advocate. Things have turned around. So maybe in a few years' time, I will be, canvassing heavily for AI and AI usage. In fact, I went and did a master's degree program from University of Texas on AI and machine learning. So I know for a fact that it can make a difference. I have done my hands-on bit, and I know that ChatGPT and the other generative AI models that are available can do a lot for us, but how much is a question. Now, with that in mind, when Adi told me about this opportunity of doing the keynote, I said, what better than talking about it on a bigger forum, because this has been the year of generative AI and ChatGPT. So why not bring it to the forum and talk about its relevance in the testing world? Now, we have been very heavily pushing automation for quite some time, and rightly so, because in today's world, when you're talking about agile and DevOps, you can't survive without automation. Let's face it. And when I say automation, I mean automation in testing. I don't talk about automation testing or test automation. Those terms I try to use less. I talk about automation in testing because for me, it is not limited to just, test cases, writing scripts. It is about doing a lot more with automation to make you efficient and effective as a tester. That's what I think is the flavor. And with AI capabilities, you're only going to see automation getting better. Okay, you're only going to see your testing capabilities improving. But the question is, how much can you rely on it? Can you say, okay, I can trust fully on automation and I can. I used to see when ChatGPT came about, people started experimenting, started playing around and saying, oh, wow, ChatGPT can write scripts for me for Selenium. So I'm like, okay, so you forget about learning Selenium. You simply go to ChatGPT and say, okay, generate, create a framework for me. And does it fit your context? I mean, can you really trust it? Can you just use that code and pick it up from there and plug it into your product thing and make it work. Will it work that way? The answer is no, you cannot, because you still need to make sure that you are using it for the right context, because after all it is machine generated, right? So you need to give it the context. You need to build that level of trust, that level of confidence with it. I also saw some very funny examples, and I tried one myself where I said, okay, I gave it a problem with my age and my brother's age, and ChatGPT got it wrong. Okay, the problem that we used to solve in school, we used to give problems saying, okay, my brother was 6 years younger to me. So today, when I am 46, how old is my brother? Okay, and ChatGPT got it wrong. Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
I have it. I have it. I posted it on LinkedIn as well, and because there was some calculation mistake it made. Then when I countered it, then it said, "Oh no, yeah, I apologize," and then it made the correction. So these kind of things happen. Now imagine you go all out and you ask ChatGPT to give you test cases and test scenarios. Are you able to confidently say that, okay, you can trust all of them? Are they going to solve all your problems? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on the context. So there is a lot where you can trust or rely on it, or you can outrightly dismiss it. Okay, some people have dismissed it. Some people are still arguing. There are big debates going on social media. Within the testing community, there are big discussions happening as to how much you can rely on ChatGPT and other products leveraging generative AI. So my talk essentially revolves around that, where I'm going to present some examples of what I have tried, of some examples what other people have tried, what has been their experience, what are the conversations that are happening, and how we can leverage generative AI to our advantage. Okay, sending. To cancel, you can also press the digital crown on your watch. Well, see, this is technology that we are talking about,
Yes.
and so all of a sudden Siri wakes up. Okay, so uh, and I was not having a clue as to where it is happening. so,
Yeah, I was
so
looking on my side and looking at if something is on my side.
yeah. So it was on my watch, and it picked up some word, and
Yeah.
I got triggered there. But so this is what we are dealing with. So how much can you
Yeah.
trust on them? I don't know. So this is a live example of what I was talking
Yeah.
about.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
I don't know if you know or not, for the audience, but all these virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant, uh, these companies claim that there is a lot of AI features or AI functionality built into them. And I'm constantly using the word claim because I don't know how much people have tested it. I have tested, and I'm not fully convinced that it is entirely AI. So there is AI, of course, but how much entire, I don't know. And I don't want to comment on it. I don't want to get into a debate.
Yeah.
But
So on,
yeah,
on that note, I would say I don't want Brijesh to spill all the beans. Guys, look at his topic. I'm going to repeat it for your interest here. In AI, we trust or not. And then subsequently, he says navigating between reliance and distrust in testing. Interesting. He has given you enough hint, and I would say this would be the most interesting keynote or one of the most interesting keynotes that we have this year. And we're all looking forward to this, Brijesh. Amazing stuff, I'm sure.
Adi,
And
I just want to say one thing. I
yeah,
wanted to tell you about it earlier, but so when I was thinking of the title, you know, uh, and I was thinking about the title, and I had one of my very old emails open for some reason in front of me. And back in the day, in my email signature, I used to write a line: "In God we trust, everything else I test."
yes, I have
Okay,
seen
so
that.
"In
Yes.
God we trust" is the line that you will see on the dollar bills
Yeah.
on the US dollar. Okay, so I sort of used that extension and I used it quite often, and that gave me an inspiration. I said, yeah, it's the same thing with AI. In AI, we trust. Can we say that confidently or not? So that's so that's where the thing came.
Very nice. I think, yes, this is more intriguing than anything else probably in the conference. There are many AI topics for sure, but to know the insight and whether you can trust it or not, who better than Brijesh to talk about it, guys? So don't miss his keynote. It's probably on 3rd of December. One of these 2 and 3, we will probably publish the schedule. He is there as a keynote speaker. The schedule will be out soon. Full schedule. The tentative schedule is already on the site. Don't miss. And on that note, Brijesh, can we just have little more chit chat before we call it a day? You have few
Yes,
more minutes. All right.
sure. We can
So
talk.
right. So few things for the testing community that you would like to recommend, Brijesh. You have been always forefront about many ideas and advices in few lines. What would you like to recommend to the testing community
Uh,
today?
testing community. Okay. This is something that is very close to my heart, and I keep telling testers to do that. Okay, don't sit with a status quo. Okay, ask a question, challenge it. It's not like, okay, you've been told something and that is the ultimate truth. Verify that. Okay, I mean, the one of the most common things that we see today is, you know, uh, people start testing, they get some requirements, they start testing. Have you found out, have you questioned if those requirements are, first of all, accurate? Secondly, are they complete? Thirdly, are they capturing what the user actually needs, or are we missing the point? Because, when something goes wrong in production, the first guys to be blamed will be the testers. So instead of waiting for that day to happen, why don't you be a little more proactive and ask questions upfront? I mean, yes, you've got requirements, product owner has given it to you, or maybe sometimes we also see testers saying, oh, the developers have given me the requirements. I'm like, for me, it is like, okay, so you're getting a developer's version of the requirements. But are
Very
you sure that those are the requirements? Have you gone deep enough? Have you tried to find out what the implicit requirements are? I mean, we all talk about shift left and stuff like that, right? And this is where it begins. When you start asking these questions up that early, that's where it all begins. So you can call it by any term. You can call it static testing. You could call it, requirements elicitation. You call it shift left, ultimate shift left, super shift left. I don't know, whatever. But at least wake up and ask questions. Okay, that's the fundamental thing of the
being a tester.
fundamental rule of testing. I mean, you are there to ask questions. You are there to find out stuff. Okay, and secondly, I mean, automation is important, guys. I mean, understand that. We can get into a lot of debates, discussions about manual versus automation, the terminology debate, and this and that. But in today's situation where, companies want stuff to be done faster, they want reliable, you know, results, they want you to give uh, confidence very early, smaller feedback loops. You need to learn automation. Now, and it can be anything, okay? It can be a simple automation done on an Excel sheet, okay? That can speed up your process a bit, okay? It can be something as simple as that. Learn that. Show your interest. You can't walk away saying, "Oh no, I don't like automation." Okay, there may be reasons you may be afraid of coding. That may be one of the cases. You may not like it. Some people find it boring, which is there. I mean, as humans, yeah, we understand. But then, you are limiting yourself. If you're not exposing yourself to that skill. So, so it is good to have. It is, I would say, rather very important to have skill right now in today's day. So embrace automation and just go on testing. Just go on
Yeah,
testing. I mean, nothing is stopping you.
yeah,
Testing has limitless possibilities, endless opportunities. I think as long as people are making products, testing will be there,
yeah.
no matter what. So it is, and I'm making a claim here. Uh, Time will prove me wrong if there is any such time. That testing is the only recession-proof profession in this world. Okay, it
Yes.
will be there. Okay, products, as long as products keep coming, you will need testing. So yeah.
Yeah. And the testing mindset about the three advices that you talk about. Very true, guys. Question the status quo. Number two, think about technology and automation. And number three, keep testing and be confident
Yeah.
about it. Amazing stuff, Brijesh. I think. By the way, are you planning to write a book? You do so much social media stuff, and you have so
Um,
many ideas.
that has been there on the radar, and I do have a, I started off with something. It may just happen like what happened with TTC. I had thought of TTC as a platform, and then 4 years later, suddenly it came. So it may happen, like serendipity may happen, and all of a sudden you will see me writing a book or publishing a book. It may happen.
It should
So
happen, and I wish that happens. It happens sooner.
with me, most of the things happen just like that. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't plan for it, but they just happen.
fair enough.
So
So
I'm
I
hoping
wish.
that it happens.
I am also hoping that it should happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously, guys, Test Chat is our community partner. Brijesh has been a partner and a collaborator, and we are really thankful and grateful for his presence and his contribution on making what ATA GTR is. We are proud to say that.
Can I say one thing about the test chat? Okay, one of the things that people understand about a test chat is it is just a Telegram group. Yes, we reside on Telegram. Yes, we have a lot of discussions happening on Telegram. But one of the biggest aspects of test chat is the jobs corner, and I want to highlight that. Okay, so every day there are new job postings happening there. Okay, and a lot of people have got jobs through the jobs corner that the test chat has. So every day the number is increasing. So if you are looking for a job, especially in India, I mean that is one place where I recommend you, at least putting in your details, sharing it with the folks there. You will get something. Somebody will find you. Okay, that's there. We are trying to expand it to a global level. We've started a little bit about jobs in Singapore and other areas, but that's still very small. We soon plan to extend it to that region and then cover Middle East and then come to Europe and US jobs as well. So we are working towards it, but hopefully soon we'll be able to do it. So, this jobs corner is an important thing about test chat. Not a lot of people know about it because they think, oh, it's a Telegram group where, people bash each other on, on testing topics. That is there. Yeah, we talk about testing all the time, but the jobs corner is one important aspect. So if you are looking for a job or if you have a job, interesting job position that you want to advertise, use it. It's free. I mean, it's for the community. So we want people to leverage it as much as they can.
Brilliant. I think I also was not aware. So glad that Brijesh talked about that. It's one of the finest communities, guys. Request you to join and learn from people like Brijesh. There's so much learning out there, and obviously now you will also find jobs. Nothing more and nothing better than that. And I'm hoping that you guys will learn and grow together with all the communities around. Test chat is one of them. So thank you, Brijesh. On this note, I would like to again say thank you and thanks for your precious time. And we really look forward for your presentation, keynote presentation this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Adi. Thank you so much. And I want to wish everybody attending the conference good luck, happy testing. I look forward to seeing you all there. And let's make ATA GTR 2023 a huge success, just like the previous editions.
Thank you so much, Brijesh. Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.